So, Keanu, it's a rip-roaring romper stomper that makes other action films look like La La Land.
Oh, fantastic.
But you're constantly on the move in it. So how fit did you have to get before filming?
Yeah, there was a lot of training. It was about 3 months, and it was jiu-jitsu, judo, a lot of live fire work with the pistols, rifle, and shotgun. And I got to slide some cars around, go into the gym, just eat right, and then go beat John Wick.
The opening sequence, there's a motorbike in it. I assumed that was you, because you do love a motorbike, don't you?
I do. I love motorcycles. I have a motorcycle company called Arch Motorcycle. I ride a bike every day. Absolutely fantastic. But no, I got to drive the car. But
you stop the bike with the car door,
which
isn't recommended, but it's great fun to watch.
Oh, cool, man. Actually, that was an in-camera deal. You see me like open the door and then stomp on the brakes, and then they had this motorcycle and they had a dummy on it, and it just smashed, and then the motorcycle comes flying into camera. John Wick action.
And of course, you've got a great co-star in Ian McShane, who's a huge legend over here, and in the States, of course, for Deadwood.
Yeah, sure.
And he started his career here as a kind of antiques hunting detective. Did he talk to you about antiques? Did he go back into the past like that?
No, he wasn't like, hello, Keanu, you know, this porcelain cup from Victoria. No.
And when you're getting ready
He's a legend, man.
Yeah, he's a top
awesome.
man, though, isn't he? When you're getting ready to do something like this, the first film, huge success, there's going to be a sequel. Will there be a trilogy, Keanu? Will it be like The Matrix?
You know, it's up to the audience. You know, we got to do Chapter 2 because of the affection that the film had and people going to see it. You know, we made this film with love. You know, I love the character. I love the world of John Wick. And if the audience enjoys it, then we'll get to, you know, tell Chapter 3.
And I particularly like the ending of this, and it really sets you up for the number 3, I think. That kind of real paranoia your character's feeling at the end is fantastically done.
Yeah, John has broken some rules, you know, and so there's a lot of people out to kill him.
Yeah, and quite right, too, given some of the things you do in the film.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, we could argue about that.
Well, like destroying that beautiful motor car.
Yeah, well, you know, I was trying...
Even though it's yours, you just, you know, sacrilege.
Well, I'm trying to escape, and there's people after me, and so they bash it up, you know? But, you know, I mean, in that sequence, and I think this is part of the John Wick tone, and, you know, there's the real world, there's the underground world, and John's, you know, getting back his car that was stolen from him. This film takes place about 5 days after the first one.
Yeah.
But really, what he really wants is the letter that's inside the car. It's a letter from his
But that's what I loved
wife.
about it. It reminded me, in an odd kind of way, of some of the 60s TV shows like The Prisoner.
Oh, wow.
That you never know who to trust, you never know who your enemies are, you never know who's going to betray you, and you also don't quite know what rules you're playing by.
Yeah, well, I think you know what rules you're playing by.
But you don't play by the rules.
Yeah, well, eventually, yeah, because those rules are kind of getting tight around my neck. But yeah, you do. I think the part of the scenes that get created is just like you don't know who's an assassin. You don't know who's not. So there is that aspect of paranoia. Definitely.
Now, we live in an era of reboots. If they were to either make another Matrix film or reboot it, would you want to get involved in that universe again?
Yeah, I mean, the Wachowskis are incredible filmmakers. And so, I mean, and the Matrix trilogy changed my life, and I think cinema.
That and Bill and Ted,
lives.
of course. Bill and Ted. That was the big breakthrough.
Yes, it was, man. Time travel movie. But yeah, I mean, to work with those filmmakers again and in that world would be fantastic. But I don't know how that can happen.
Now, you're playing John Wick, of course, in the film, as we know. And we have a saying in England and Britain, which is things get on your wick, which means they irritate you and wind you up and upset you. What gets on John Wick's wick? What annoys you, Keanu, in the world?
Well, I mean, I think he just wants to retire, right? He wants to grieve the loss of his wife. He wants to get out of the world. So anything that kind of stops that from happening, I think, gets his wick.
And, I mean, I got the result here today because all the people who work with me at talkRADIO wanted to interview you. I let them all offer me a question. I picked one at random. This is from John Holmes, who does a slightly bonkers afternoon show.
Bonkers!
Bonkers, genuinely bonkers. And his question is, Keanu Reeves, if you had an elephant, where would you hide it?
In a room.
An elephant-sized room. Maybe even an elephant-shaped room.
Well, isn't that the whole point about the elephant in the room?
Thank you very much indeed, Keanu Reeves. Thank you.
All right, cheers, man.